Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. We're here to talk Leeds, and we're here, of course, to talk Everton more. So Everton opposition previews are back. We have Neil who's joining us, an Everton season ticket holder. I'm told by Dan Potts, a very, very stand-up guy as well, and friends, I believe, with the dearly departed Kevin Campbell as well. So we're going to bring Neil in. We'll talk everything Everton, lead up to the pre-season, what the thoughts are for the season ahead. Obviously, game day and stuff on Monday. We'll even talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Jack Harrison as well. There's been a few Wi-Fi issues, so just bear with. But let's bring in Neil. You well? Neil? You still there?
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. I got you there. I don't know how much you will have heard. You might be way behind, I think. Oh, I had a beep then. Oh, he's coming back. He's on a different one. Let's try. Oh, man. Right, I think he's back now. Let's give this a bash. You back?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. There's
right. So...
He's still there.
Start again, mate.
Yeah. We'll start again. Let's see if we've got you. You still there?
Oh. Right, how's that doing?
I can hear you, yeah, but I'm just conscious that these oh, it says you've entered the studio. Oh, hang on, let's have a look. Are you there?
Yeah, let me just let me mute that. Can you hear me now?
I can, mate. I can.
Good, mate. It's this playing up again.
Yeah. No worries, mate. Can you turn your phone sideways?
I can, mate.
Oh, hang on. Oh, that's me good, is it? Oh, just leave it as it was, mate. No worries, pal. It is how it is. You're here now. That's the main.
All right, mate. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, mate. It happens. Don't worry. Yeah, good stuff. I was just saying, obviously, and I got your number off of Dan Potts, obviously. Everton fan, season ticket holder, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, mate. Yeah, I go home and away. Most away games I can get tickets for, but about 95% of them. And yeah, I'll be there Monday night. Yeah, just had confirmation today that I'll be going. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Good, man. Same. Obviously, we've been out of the Premier League now for 2 seasons, so we're excited to be back, obviously, and taking on a historic club like Everton. I'm gonna have to ask you. We'll start here. Like, what have you made to Calvert-Lewin and Jack Harrison being back at Leeds? How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm going to be honest, as I always am.
Yeah.
If anybody who follows me on social media, my thoughts on Calvert-Lewin are well documented.
Okay.
And I think I don't rate him whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Don't rate him. Never have. Never will. He's just not a natural striker.
Mm.
He's not a natural striker. He hasn't got the instincts of a striker. He's woeful in front of goal, which everyone can see on Match of the Day every week. But his saving grace used to be he used to work hard. He used to put his shift in. Once he's got his injuries and his hamstrings, he just jogs about now. And people give Beto stick, and obviously this is just my opinion. People give Beto loads of stick, and I'll be the first to admit he's got massive flaws, Beto, but he causes an awful lot more problems for defenders than Calvert-Lewin ever has, in my opinion. Mainly because he's just so awkward, and he will put a shift in. And given the opportunity front of goal, he'll convert more than Calvert-Lewin. I
hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
I was actually absolutely over the moon when I got the news he was signing for Leeds. Simply because there was horrible rumours that he was going to re-sign for Everton.
Right. Horrible rumours. That's not good.
Well, for me, they were.
See, I will defend him, obviously. He had that amazing season under Ancelotti. I know, admittedly, that was a few seasons ago now. He has had issues with injuries. It is a risk. I can't get away from that fact. But I think if we can find him anywhere close to what he was doing under Ancelotti, he might score us the goals that keep us up. You know, he's good in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say he's decent in the air, but he wins a lot of flick-ons. But they very rarely go anywhere other than flick it on. He doesn't direct it to a teammate. People will say he's got a good touch. I would argue, say it's bang average. But that's just my opinion of him. You know what I mean? Harrison, I think one thing I will say about Harrison, he will always put a shift in.
Yeah.
I know he's upset the Leeds fans by what he did. Obviously, and that's quite obvious in the reception he's received since he's come back. But I think with Jack is he's full of energy. He'll give you 100%. But when he's on the ball, it's just there's no end product. There's none. And like I say, his defence I will give him when he's played for us is 99% of the time he's been played on the right.
Yeah, and he's left.
And he plays from the left.
Yeah.
So he's always got to cut back inside on the right onto his left foot.
Yeah, of course.
And by the time he's done that, all his opportunity to release the ball quickly, it's all gone. Because they just slowed him down and closed him down. Probably one of the best games he's had in the blue shirt was the Derby season before last when we beat Liverpool 2-0. And that showed you that he's not a poor footballer in terms of technical ability. In terms of technical ability, it's just some of his decision making and the fact that he's always got to come back on to his left foot and he's playing on the right. It's just frustrating, and I get it to a certain extent, and I've tried to defend him, but the majority of Everton is just praying because there's rumours again with him that he might be coming back.
Yeah, of course. He does get battered online from Everton fans, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does get stick. He does get stick.
You know, I can still see it. I wouldn't rule it out, but again, just my opinion. Just little snippets I've heard from people I know about a few connections with the club. That it could happen. I'm not saying it will, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Really?
Yeah, because I believe Moyes loves him just because of his work ethic.
A lot of managers do, though. That's the thing. A lot of managers, and Farke's clearly been saying the right things about him to the fans, even though they're not exactly taking it on the chin. But I do think the way he's been talking, it's like, he fancies him, staying at the football club. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm disappointed to hear you speak like you did against Calvert-Lewin, but more positive on.
Mate, you could have got a different Evertonian who'd have spoke highly of him and said he just needs service.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a common thing they have. Yeah. Oh, he just needs service. Well, unfortunately, if you do study his game, and I do, because I'm anti-Calvert-Lewin, if you like. So you have to have an argument to back up what you're saying.
Yeah.
And he went in, and I did it as a shadow. That season, he went for the season last season when he went 20 goals without scored, 20 games without scoring a goal. I watched all the highlights back of every game in that spell. And in that spell, he had 18 clear-cut chances that you would expect any decent, in my opinion, amateur forward to score. Never mind an elite-level Premier League forward.
Aye.
And it seems like he just gets him. There's a reason Ancelotti told him to stay in the 6-yard box. Because he couldn't miss. He couldn't miss.
He couldn't miss. I love that. Daniel, an Everton fan, says, as a Blue, I think he's very harsh on DCL. In the air and his hold-up play are very good. Terrible at one-on-ones, though. Jack Harrison was protecting Ashley Young all season, to be fair, but he's not good. But there you go. Do you know what this is going to lead up to as well, don't you, Neil? Calvert-Lewin's going to come off the bench and score the winner against Everton on Monday night. Can you imagine?
That wouldn't surprise me. From a cross by Jack Harrison, it just wouldn't surprise me because that's Everton. Yeah. That's what happens to Everton. The same with, what's happened the last couple of days.
Yeah.
We signed Jack Grealish. Everybody's up in the air, floating in the air. And then this morning late yesterday, this morning, we get news that
Brantford,
probably our best defenders, picked up an injury.
Is he going to be out then for a while, Brantford?
Well, the reports are he's going to be out for 4 weeks.
Right.
So therein brings the dilemma that a lot of Evertonians are dreading, in that Michael Keane will play at centre-half. But my personal opinion is, I'm not the greatest fan, don't get me wrong, but last season, when he came in and had to perform, bar 20 minutes when he had a nightmare against Manchester City, the other games he played in, he did very, very well. And at Fulham and at Newcastle, he was outstanding. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And it was down to me, I'd play Jake O'Brien at right back, him and Tarkowski. I think the left back's a dilemma because I don't think Mikolenko's going to be fit.
Okay.
And the new kid, Anzu, he's got potential, but I'm not so sure. From what I've seen, it's only 2 games. I'm not so sure whether he's ready to be flung straight in. Yeah.
No, I get that. Obviously, David Moyes has returned back. Good appointment, innit? I bet you're glad, are you? To get rid of Dyche, and obviously Moyes is in.
Well, I was actually over the moon to get rid of Dyche.
Yeah.
Because it's the worst football I've ever seen ever play. Really? Ever. Yeah. But I will be perfectly honest with you again, and anybody who knows me on social media will tell you this. I didn't want Moyes back.
Really?
I thought he underachieved in his first spell. I thought had he had a bit more, what's the word I'm looking, guts. I could have used another word, but I'll use guts because we're on a live show. That Everton could have won trophies. He just bottled big games. Even when he was in a winning position, he bottled them. One that stands out particularly is the Derby semi-final in 2012, I think it was. And we were totally in control of that game. And instead of him going after them, he sat back. And as soon as he did that, I don't think there was an Evertonian in the ground that didn't say, we're going to lose this. And that was just Everton under him. However, I will say, I think he's done a very good job since he's come back.
Yeah.
And he seems to be a completely different character.
Yeah, different guy.
He seems to be more approachable, more willing to, engage with people, whereas last time he was very, very standoffish. And he always seemed to be like, he was grouchy or in a mood. But now he's a bit more affable and open. And you see his press conferences and the tone of them are completely different than what they used to be, from what I remember.
And he's a trophy winner now as well, right? To do what
he is,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get that. now he's done what he's done. He's sort of turning me around.
Yeah.
Obviously, to fully do that, he would have to win a trophy. But yeah, I'm thinking now, well, I don't mind him being here. And he is trying to progress the team.
I speak to a lot of fans and they all say Everton will do really well. I was in London the other week and someone picked you for a trophy, man, now that Moyes is in. So there's a lot of fans outside of Everton or outside Merseyside that are saying, do you know what? We expect Everton to do well under him.
Well, I expect us to do well, better than we had been doing under Dyche, because honestly, mate, it was absolutely dire going to the match to watch football under him. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But Moyes changed that around and he's put a bit of a bounce back into the team, into the fans. Obviously, we've got the massive bounce of going to the new stadium. And he seems to be signing players who we are all going to buy into.
Yeah. How do you think the new stadium will be a positive or a negative?
I think it'll be it's difficult to say at the minute because, like, the team will have to get used to it. Fans are going to have to get used to it.
Because Goodison was a fortress for you, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. But I think if you transfer, obviously it's going to be the same fans.
Yeah, of course.
And once they get used to being in, because Goodison's very enclosed, isn't it? And there's posts all over the place, and it's a proper old school stadium. Whether this is very open, and told it's been built so that the noise stays within the bowl of the stadium. Once the fans get used to that, and I think it'll be as good a benefit to us as Goodison was on good Goodison nights, because on good Goodison nights they were the best. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm Evertonian, but you couldn't beat them. On those nights when it all came together and the team played well. You'd rather go to a Goodison night than a Goodison day. That's how. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. We've all been saying that Ellen Road under the lights Monday night. That I'm quite confident because of that fact, because it's a bit like Goodison, old ground. We're getting not a new stadium, but that's been expanded as well soon into 55, and everyone's like, will it remove the atmosphere? But like you've said, we've got acoustic specialists looking at it, so it maintains it. So hopefully that's the case. But Monday night under the lights, it's going to be a big game, and one I hope we can win. What have you made to your summer business? Because obviously you lose about 8 or 9 players end of contract: Calvert-Lewin, Decore, Ashley Young, all these others. But then in the past week, your business has sort of just picked up. You brought in Dewsbury-Hall, who I think is a great signing for you. Yeah. Obviously, Jack Grealish has come in as well. So what does that mean as well for Njai? Will he move now on to the right? Who starts at the top? Go on, I'll let you talk.
I think he can certainly. I think he could swap them all 3 of them around.
Yeah,
because they're all good on the ball. Grealish played predominantly on the left when he was at Villa, wasn't he? It was only the last couple of the season that he moved him inside. Njai played in the centre, because I don't like this term as a 10. I think it's 10's a shirt number, but he can play in behind the striker. All 3 of them can play behind the striker. Dewsbury-Hall can play a little bit deeper if he needs to. So I think we're going to have a lot better variation, and one of them where they can interchange during a game, if needs be.
Yeah,
I think
it's a good point, mate, innit? Because Dyche was so rigid, whereas them 3 players you mentioned, the Jai, Grealish, and Dewsbury-Hall, can just all switch, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. Which I think we're stuck unless something drastic happens, which you can't see, and I don't think they'd be eligible anyway. With the actual forwards we've got for the time being. Whether he brings in another centre forward before deadline day remains to be seen. And we need a out-and-out natural right-sided wide player. And also, because of the injury situation and the lack of personnel, we need another right back. Now, there's all types of stories floating around. I'm sure you've heard them yourself. Everton are looking for the right back. Everton are looking for the right-sided midfield player, wide. So, can't see them being done before Monday, but I can certainly see it being done before transfer deadline day.
Yeah.
Now,
well, I did read something earlier on today about Beto potentially falling out with Moyes. Is that bullshit?
Nah, that's a load of rubbish. So I've been told by people, credible people. There's people come out on
Football Insider, so it's always bullshit when they report it.
Yeah, yeah, it's like Sport Witness as well. They've never known them get anything right.
I know,
but from as I understand it, it's a load. It's just been made up. That I don't know why somebody would do that. I'd heard earlier in the season or in pre-season he'd had a bit of a fallout with Schmidt.
Right.
But that seems to have resolved itself. So I think, they're going to be our forward. And the new lad we brought in, Barry. Now, again, only seen brief glimpses of him, and there's something about him. He's got ability. But as we all know, the La Liga and the Premier League, completely different levels of football.
Yeah, they are. 100%.
So he's going to have to adapt, as Beto's had to, and is still trying to adapt to the Premier League. And that may take a little bit of time. Go
on, mate.
Go on, mate. No, go on. Carry on.
I was going to ask, what are your aspirations for this season with Moyes, the new stadium, the players you brought in? What's the hope?
I would happy to be finished in the top 10.
Yeah.
And if we could win a cup, that would be brilliant. I'm not saying we will definitely do that.
No, of course, yeah.
But I think if he puts together the team he's looking to put together, they would be capable of finishing a lot higher up the table, just based on personnel. I mean, we've followed football long enough to know individuals don't always gel as a team.
No, they don't. You're right.
But if they can gel as a team, then I think we'll win more than we lose. Whereas we've often the last few years been losing more than we've won.
Yeah.
So I think that might see, and I think every fan harbours the hope that their team will win a cup, because I know the league's the ultimate prize.
Mate, if Palace can do it, we can all do it, right?
Well, we've said it. Yeah, but also, I'm old school, so I still think the FA Cup is still worth winning. I think the Carabao Milk, whatever it's called these days, Carabao Cup, is it?
Yeah.
I still think that's worth winning.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we know the way football is, and the chances are the monopoly is going to stay what the monopoly is for a while, and there's not a lot we're going to be able to do about it.
Yeah.
But
I seen something this morning which proper worried me. It was Kieran Maguire, and there'd been this project Big Picture, which was to reduce the Premier League to like 16 to 18 teams. And it was the Glazers, FSG, Parry, and the rest of the Big Six alongside the FA chief, Greg Clark. And they were trying to reduce the size of the league. And then they made it so as well that you only needed like 6 clubs' votes to make the changes. Well, that's your top 6, and you just think they're fucking trying to ruin it, man.
Yeah, well, definitely, mate, because you'd only have to go back a few years when Leicester won it.
Yeah.
And who was the chief executive then? Was it Scudamore? I think it was Pete. Yeah. And he actually said in an interview, we can't have that happening every year.
It's mad, isn't it?
To me, and people have their own opinions and they're entitled to their opinions, I think it's a cartel. Yeah. I do. I think, I've seen Masters being interviewed yesterday about Manchester City. And this is not a slight on Manchester City, by the way. This is all about him. Says he can't, he can't speed up the process, blah, 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 with City, blah, blah, blah. Well, how come he was able to speed up the process with Everton and not Forest?
It's mad, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
because Everton and not Forest, not a cash cow for the Premier League. This is my honest opinion. They're not a cash cow. And so they're irrelevant, insignificant to Masters.
It's like here on this project big picture here, it says the Community Shield would be discontinued. The League Cup will be discontinued.
Yeah.
FA Cup replays would be retained, but there'll be no replays in the winter. Do you know what I mean? When they're playing Champions League and stuff, it's mental, man.
But hopefully, when we all complained about the Super League, we're all saying that. Yeah. Maybe in hindsight, we should just let them all go.
Yeah, true.
Let them go. And then there's other traditional football clubs. The world of football doesn't evolve around the top six.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
There's like to your club and my club, and I'd include Villa and Newcastle. We've got just as much history and tradition as any of those two. I get Arsenal and Liverpool have won the most, Man United have won the most trophies. Can't get away from that. But as football clubs and what they mean to their communities and their fan base, whereas both the clubs are as big as any of those top six.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Like, let's be honest. Man City, if they lost all their money tomorrow, they'd lose a lot of their fan base as well, wouldn't they? Let's be real. You know what I mean?
I don't think they'd be the only ones, though, mate.
No,
true. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to go into my views on other clubs as such, because it's irrelevant to this show. But if you look over the years, there are certain clubs that when they're doing well, they'll pack their stadium to the But as soon as they're not doing so well, it's all full. Now, I can speak from experience, having spent the last certainly 5 years, 6 years down the bottom. 3 of those last 5, we've been fighting relegation. Every game, home and away, has been a sellout.
Yeah.
Every single one. And so that's what I think the difference is between, I don't think we will ever, abandon Everton. No matter how bad it gets. Do you know, and I don't know whether that's just, I'm sure there's other clubs, you may say the same with yourselves about Leeds, but Evertonians, if nothing else, we're loyal and we stick with them, and we certainly have stuck with them through thick and thin. And I won't lie to you, I thought that day at Crystal Palace, I thought 2-0, I thought we were done.
Yeah, same, man. Honestly, I get it, man. We went to League One and back, didn't we? You know what I mean? So we've been there, I get it.
Yeah.
What do you give chances for the free promoted teams? Because everyone I speak to is like, it's too tough, it's too brief. But I look at some of the lack of business at likes of Brentford, maybe even Bournemouth losing their back line. I think we've got a chance, mate. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that, yeah. Because I'll be honest, I don't sort of particularly pay too much attention to opposition teams. Do you know what I mean? My focus is on me. But when, you see things that are going on, and yes, Brentford, I think Brentford could very well struggle. I think Burnley will struggle. But there's also the teams you mentioned there. Brentford, definitely could be in there. Yeah. Because they Bournemouth again. They've lost players, haven't they? They're their most important players. So taking into that, is it Iriola, the manager? He's a good manager. So
yeah, he is.
He's turned average players into good players, hasn't he? So there's no saying that he won't do the same again. But if you're continually losing all your top players, then it's gonna have an effect on you, I would suggest.
You can't keep it up, can you?
No.
You can't keep it up. I agree with you, mate. I agree with you.
And it's like with us. I mean, we've signed players again, I'll be totally honest, players who we've wanted, and people will say, well, who would you want? You know, I'd have that Dewsbury Hall. There was a survey on social media of all the Chelsea players that were free or going on a free or what they want to get rid of. He was one of them. I said I'd have him. And I think he'd be the only one that I really seriously think, well, I'd definitely have him. But as an Evertonian, you think, no chance. No chance we're going to get him.
Yeah.
We did. Jack Grealish.
I think we'd got Jack Grealish, you know. No. I didn't.
Well, yeah, I heard those rumours from somebody who knew all about it. And they said they want him. And I said, well, there's a difference in wanting him and him wanting us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And to be fair, from what I'm led to believe, it was all he wanted to come to Everton as much as Everton wanted him to come to us. So we're just hoping now that he will turn into the Jack Grealish we know. Just because he'll be playing with a bit of freedom, he's not under pressure.
Yeah.
And if he does, he will become an instant Everton idol. Of
course.
Instant, because regardless of what he's been through, or regardless if he likes to go for a pint, when he's on top, Nick, he's a fantastic footballer. And that can't be denied by anybody.
Oh, and do you know what as well, Nick? When I saw that deal happen, I'm buzzing for Jack Grealish because I really like him. You know, he's a sound guy. You know, he was young when all that stuff was going on. He's like a normal lad, man. His interviews, you can see that. You know, he's great with the young kids in and around the ground. You see him. I'm just glad that he's got out of City, and I hope that it can be a success, because I look at Calvin Phillips, who's a great lad. He went to City. Yeah. Then his career's sort of just gone nosedive. He went to West Ham, he went to Ipswich, and now I don't know what's happening with him. So I just don't rediscover it, because Grealish is a top player, man.
He's back at City, is he not, Phillips?
Yeah, he's back at City. Yeah, he's injured. But I'm just thinking, like, where's he going to go? Because transfer window shuts soon, and he's got no club. Well, he's at City, but yeah.
But also, I would like to think that there'd be players who are in similar situations, or could be in similar situations, when they're looking at club choices, and that Phillips and Grealish will be a cautionary tale to
of course,
the player, because I think the LUFC made a terrible mistake, and I'm not just saying that because he turned us down to go to Chelsea. You know, I think they got him. Now they must have. You know how football works. You'll have an agent. The club will speak to the agent. And the agent will fill you full of this, that, and the other. So if I'm going to go there, I would be wanting to be the main man. You know, and then whether they consider that, but you would go there and say, right, I'm coming here. I've got loads of choices. I want to be your number 9.
Yeah.
And no doubt he was told that. I would suggest he's gone there, and then the week after they go and sign Joe Pedro from Brighton, put him straight in the team, and he's on fire. Started on fire, hasn't he? Now, I don't know if you saw that clip of the LUFC the other week when Joe Pedro scored.
No.
And he didn't look very happy. He was on social media, and he just sort of rolled his eyes, and sometimes I think players are badly advised. I think going back to Calvert-Lewin, I think he was badly advised by his agent, and he's sacked 2 of them now, hasn't he? Since the closings. Yeah. And you know, don't get me wrong, I don't wish him ill.
No.
And he's a nice bloke. I've spoken to him a couple of times when I've been up and around the training ground. He's always willing to interact with fans, and he's a nice fella.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get you, you know. Doesn't get it 150k a week.
No, it definitely doesn't. Before we finish up, mate, like what do you reckon is going to happen Monday night? Then where's the game going to be won and lost? What's the score?
I think I don't know a lot about your side, to be honest, other than know Jack Addison, and I think if our influential players can influence, you know, then I think we stand a good chance of getting the results. But it's whether they'll be playing, and I think Dewsbury Hall will start.
Yeah. He's played behind the striker, and in pre-season, I think.
Yeah, and he played really well on Saturday. He did play really well. And Dye is always a threat.
Yeah,
he is always a threat. Because when he gets the ball, he just wants to attack people. And I think that's why Evertonians love him so much, because we're not used to that. We're used to getting the ball and going backwards, getting the ball going sideways. Well, you give it to him and he goes forward. And no doubt Dewsbury Hall's the same. No doubt Grealish is the same. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Grealish start Monday.
Yeah, come straight in.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. If he doesn't, well, they'll say, well, he has. But he has had the pre-season and he was training with City. So, see how he goes in training. If not, I think he'll play some part in the game. Definitely. I think the young lad, as new, is going to have to play because, struggling. Apparently, Mikalenko's injured.
Right.
So it's that side of things. But one good thing about us, we have been solid in defence. And I know it's not what would be our first choice defence. But O'Brien and Keane and Tarkowski played against Fulham, played against Newcastle, and they played well. And they were games where people were expecting us to get a bit of a hiding.
Right.
And certainly, first half of Fulham, we were atrocious. Second half, Everton dominated the game. And at St James's Park, Everton dominated the game for 85% of it. And that's why we got the results. So, if we can play like we played there, I fancy us. Just to nick it. I'm not saying we'll do it.
Of course.
If we play like...
Go on, mate.
I think if we play like we played in the first half against Fulham or any of those games, bar the second half against Man United in the America, I think we'll lose. Do you know what I mean? So
I think for us, we're going to be hard to beat. We've seen that in pre-season. We drew against Milan, drew against Villarreal, drew against Man United, because we're struggling to score goals and create chances. We're missing a few X-factor players in the final third. We're still to bring in wingers. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin might have come in too late. It's not been announced yet, so it'll probably be Pirro. And then you're looking at Dan James and Nonto. And I mean, you've tried to get Nonto a couple of seasons back. We'll see what he's got for us in the Premier League. Maybe he has, a part to play. But I do worry from a goal creation perspective for us on Monday. So, I mean, it might end up being a draw. But
I would. Sorry, mate. Go on. You finish.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It could go any of three ways. To be honest.
Yeah. No, we shall wait and see. But Neil, thanks very much for coming on, my man.
Joe, thanks for having me on, mate.
No, I will let you drop off. But listen, enjoy Ellen Road. It's a shithole the away end, but enjoy it.
Well, they're your words, not mine.
Thanks very much for coming.
All right, mate. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. Pleasure.
Bye. There we go. That was Neil there. Great guy, great guest, and obviously very knowledgeable on his Everton team. I can't lie, I was gutted what he said about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but what can you do? He's not for everybody. But yeah, like it's been said, top bloke, talks sense too. Yes, he did indeed. Yeah, good chat that. It was a good chat. And look, speaks highly of DCL. Listen, he's not for everybody. I've had messages off some people that have said, give him service, he'll score. Other fans don't rate him. But he was actually but he was complimentary on Jack Harrison, which is more than I can say for the majority of our fan base, to be honest. He had better words to say about Harrison than most Leeds fans, to be fair. But yeah, listen, I am more nervous than I was 2 weeks ago, and that's because obviously they've done business. They've brought in Jack Grealish, they've bought in Dewsbury Hall, and I agree with what Neil was saying. It's difficult because I know and Jai's been playing off the left, but you'd imagine maybe Grealish goes there. Then you've got Dewsbury Hall, but then is Grealish going to play in the 10? So I agree with what he was saying. We might just see a lot of interchanging behind Thierry or Barry or Beto, whoever they go start with. Obviously, the loss of Branthwaite is a massive win for us. Obviously, you don't want to see anyone injured, but it's a big win for us that if you know, if he's out. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, I'm under no illusions. Everton will be a better side than they have been under previous seasons. I'd have said, you know, last week I was saying 2-0 Leeds at home under the lights, but with the signings and stuff, I mean, can I change it? Yeah, I'll still go 2-0, but probably not, because I think we're going to struggle to score. We've seen that, and I don't think Calvert-Lewin coming in. I don't know what the rules are now. If he's not announced before 12 p.m. the day before the first game, he can't play, or is it before our game? I'm not too sure. I think there might have been some rule changes in the Premier League rule book. So we'll have to wait and see. You just hope that maybe Grealish is not up to speed. Dewsbury Hall did play some parts at Chelsea and has played in pre-season, but we've played Dewsbury Hall at Leicester and kept him quiet, to be fair. Sonny says it screams 0-0. There's probably something in that, mate. I can't lie. There's probably something in that, just based on us being difficult to beat, them maybe not having that continuity with the new front four, and, you know, us struggling to score goals. We'll have to wait and see. Just seen this, 38 million to Forest, Amari Hutchinson from Ipswich. What I do think, though, that might mean Leeds United get a run at Bakwa, because obviously Forest were looking at Bakwa, weren't they? It's, is it Salzburg? No, Strasbourg. So maybe that's back on for Leeds. I still think we might go get a right. We might get a left. Rysel says, Joe, great guest, very level-headed and knows his club. DCL Friday, 12 p.m. I think he has to be announced. Also, Toffees will be sick if he's to score the winner. 5 on DCL winner. Jack assist. 100%, man. Imagine a world in which DCL scores off the bench. It'd be insane. Imagine Grealish versus Smith. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. I don't think so, Sonny. It depends if anything happens, but I've done quite a lot today, been on a few shows and that, so it's probably highly unlikely. It's been a very busy week, hasn't it? We do have presser reaction to come. That's at 1:15 when the presser's on, and then on Footy Judge Moore channel. And then I'm doing the Liverpool versus Bournemouth game as well, which I'm so excited for. I think so, mate. Yeah, there's been more talk of Schmidt leaving, but not until we've got a replacement. But I think Byram starts anyway. They play on different sides, Dylan. Play on different sides. So I'd take them both. If Okafor's 20 million, you can go get back with 30 odd. That's 50 million. I think we've still got that in the kitty. Yeah, he does. Ideally. I think it will be announced tomorrow. So we'll probably be reacting to that news as well. So that'll keep us busy, won't it? But yeah, listen, again, Neil, who came on, just want to thank him. Absolute legend for coming on. Top work as per. Yeah, so smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in, hit that notification bell. Sorry for the Wi-Fi issues at the start. Yeah, I seen that Amari Hutchinson was a target for them. Yeah, I agree, Rysel. Bakwa, Okafor, free DCL, boom. Happy days. Can also play in the 9, can't he, as well? Can also play in the 9. Any bankers for an Accra on Saturday? I'll tell you that. Well, I'll tell you what mine is. We won a 10-1 last week, didn't we? But yes, listen. Nice to do the opposition previews again. They'll be back. Thanks as always for watching the Just Joe Football Show. Big up to Neil as well, big Everton fan. Yeah, sorry for the Wi-Fi issues at the start, but it can't be helped sometimes. And see you tomorrow, unless something happens, at which point I'll see you at 10. You know the drill. Peace out. Love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you. Farker got his toffee hammer ready. Sorry, Righteous One. I missed it. He has. We need a win. Ideally. If we get off with a win, yeah, we're flying. 9 more. Countdown, remember. And hopefully DCL scores, because this is the DCL. Every time DCL scores this season, we're doing this. Okay? Why do we call that the DCL? Because some fans were not happy. So much so, they were enraged by it to the tune of this. So this is the DCL celebration. Do the DCL. So hopefully you'll see this throughout the season. Let's see. Hope we see it 10, 15 times. Peace out, folks. I'll see you in the morning or tonight if anything happens. Bye.